Casey
He
can't
gets
tell.
weirder every week. He gets weirder every week.
I do. I do. Casey can't tell. So we're doing something a little different, little bonus episode here. Because me and Paul, the cerebral Paul with me as always, and Jokey Pants. We both got to talking that we've been really enjoying a series that just started. And in case you can't tell what the fuck it is, then I don't know what rock you're living under. But Welcome to Derry started, and we've been enjoying it. It's been a pretty fun show. I've thoroughly enjoyed what they're doing here. God, where do I even begin on this? I guess first off, if you don't know, Pennywise, I don't know how you don't know anything about it. I mean, there's been what? 2 newer movies. Well, there's the old mini.
Well, there were basically the old miniseries and the 2 movies from the original book. Yes, that's it really. And he is mentioned throughout a couple of the other Stephen King works as well, because that's what Stephen King does. That's yes.
Yes. Which I think is what I'm enjoying with Welcome to Derry is the mixing the other things that are Stephen King without like mixing things in from other Stephen King properties that aren't necessarily muddying the water of it. It's like just adding extra layers to this whole character and his setting, and I'm really kind of digging it. I do have one little fear from something I saw in the trailer, and I'm still trying to figure out what exactly they're going to do with that. Which is, in the one trailer, it seemed like they were going to do a mist kind of thing, and that's the only thing I'm waiting to see what exactly they're doing with that, because I'm like, don't do, like, just don't do actual The Mist, because then it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm hoping
I don't think they're. I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go that route. I really don't.
Like I am curious because there's a point in the trailer where it shows basically the mist coming and people like trying to get into a store and then getting ripped away, and I'm like, I'm hoping that's more just like they release Pennywise somehow, and that's just like how he comes out, and it's not too far in that direction, but we'll see.
Well, we saw in one of the earlier episodes when the creature at this time, it's not Pennywise yet. Remember that it's not Pennywise
correct.
yet.
Yeah, it's not quite him yet.
The creature is chasing after multiple kids on bicycles, and it's kind of broken into multiple different aspects, basically.
Yeah, see that I think that's why I'm enjoying Welcome to Derry. So we're halfway through the series. Let me just start off with that. At the time we're recording this, we're halfway through it. We just got episode 4, which I loved episode 4. I love the origin. I'm happy to do the halfway, because now they've given you an origin for it. I loved it. I'm curious what your thoughts were, but I absolutely loved the origin.
I do too. And the original book did touch on aspects of his background or its background, but didn't dig in too deep. It was just kind of little, like almost stuff handed down through history, type of things. And as we saw them go through the different newspaper articles and stuff of when it all started and the first time, and
like I loved it. If you haven't been watching because it's too scary, whatever, we're gonna have spoilers here. I've been trying to dance around it, but now we're just gonna get straight into it. So with episode 4, they show that he was a fallen star that fell to Earth, and inside of it was encapsulated this creature, this shape-shifting evil creature. And the Native Americans who were in the area that it fell, like, felt that it was like an evil spirit that had come to like torture them and was hiding in these woods. and they take a piece of the star, and they're like, this is how we can ward it off. We just have to keep the piece of its prison with us at all times. I love the origin because I love that it showed he was like a zombie moose just murdering people in these woods. I was like, that's fucking awesome. That's like, that might be the coolest form I've seen him take so far. Just awesome. But I also like that this gives you the origin of why the house in the for the It remake that they've done, the part 1 and 2, they showed that there was like the really creepy house in town that was like attached to his lair. The ending of episode 4 tells you why that is the case, and they show that it was the natives took pieces of that star, they engraved it and basically encased him in the woods that he was hiding in.
Right.
And I love that they're like, oh yeah, no, like, that is where that is. Like, that house was built on top of where like his den is, basically. But also I like that they added all the stuff they did about that they added the wards around the wood, because it gives you the explanation why he doesn't leave Derry, why he only affects Derry, why he can never leave it, because he's literally fucking trapped there. They trapped him in that specific place.
By the way, am I allowed to give a spoiler to the book?
Yeah, go for it. You give
because it seriously differs. In the book, basically, Derry is Pennywise, and Pennywise is Derry. In the book, when Pennywise is defeated, the entire town is gone. It goes away. The entire town. So that's something they didn't do in either one of the miniseries.
So did he retcon that then? Because I saw a thing about after Pennywise is defeated, there's another entity that comes because there's a second book that follows up.
I don't recall the second book, but I'd have to check.
I saw something about there's a second book. It's not called like It whatever, but like it's set in Derry after Pennywise was taken.
Well, apparently the black spot was also. I'm reading right now. The black spot was also referenced in Insomnia.
That's
which is the black spot is the black spot is the bar that was in Derry, so it was referenced in Insomnia as well.
Yeah, there's that's what it was. There was a thing I had seen. Somebody made a video like explaining Stephen King's monsters, right. And that was the one. It was Insomnia because they're like it was Pennywise dies, but it leaves the void. How do they explain it? They're like basically it leaves like a power void of like
right.
Dark creature was here, so the God, what the fuck's he called? The Red King, whatever, from Dark Tower shows up. He's just like, oh, here's this spot where all this dark energy is. And, like, that's who shows up to take his spot to just feed off what he left.
Yeah. But at that point, it wouldn't be Derry. It would just be whatever went there after Derry was gone.
Yeah.
Going by the books, which are totally different than the movies. Because
also, if you've never seen the book, it's I mean, geez, criminy. I used to have it. My mom had it, and I read it then, and then she gave it to me, and it's big as shit. It's a super thick book.
I was working in a comic book shop when it came out, and I remember because I got one of the first copies that hit the shop, and yeah, it was like, holy shit, this is a large book. Yeah.
God damn.
Just so you know, I have about 11 or 12 first edition Kings going all the way back to Carrie. So
oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell? So the characters I do enjoy. This is another thing. It's another thing where I enjoy that they're picking up the details about Stephen King stuff, because we also have Dick Hallorann who's in this. If you don't know who Dick Hallorann is, or maybe the name doesn't sound familiar, if you've seen The Shining, you know who that character is. He is the old man who teaches
either
Danny
the good version, or the bad version. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
he's the one who teaches him what the shine is. And like they have him in this series, and before anyone tries to say, well, why would it actually makes sense. His backstory was that he did live in Derry around this time.
Yep.
That's literally his backstory. So like this is kind of a nice touch to be like, oh, he knew how to learn the shine because he dealt with Pennywise. So like being at the hotel, he's like, oh no, there's evil shit here. Like I've dealt with this before. You're going to need to know about this, kid. I like that. I like that for that nice little touch of like, makes sense that he would teach Danny how to fend off the evil because he had to do it himself. Like that makes sense. It's a nice touch. I also liked episode 3 with him specifically, where he like just accidentally gets to Pennywise's lair, and we get Pennywise just being like, "Who the fuck are you? Why the hell are you in my house?"
Yeah.
Which after that point you get into episode 4, like it is fucking with him now. Like now that it knows he has the shine and it can like see him whenever, it goes out of his way now to just fuck with this man. Which again, it's a nice detail because it's one of those things that for it's typically
By the way,
only the children that see him. So an adult who can see him whenever, he's like, oh, I can just fuck with you whenever I want.
And to be very clear, this part of the Halloran's background was not explained until the book It, which takes place, which was written after The Shining. But this is what Stephen King does. He blends his stories. He brings the character, like the sheriff from Misery is also mentioned in a couple other stories because he's also because he makes it one big Stephen King world that they don't all happen in this little bubble. Well, except for the Stephen King bubble, which is a much bigger bubble. Yeah.
And that's the thing with Stephen King is like, because a lot of that from what I remember goes into the Dark Tower, where like, then it starts combining like, this is what happens with all this, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, no, like everything kind of connects to itself. So I like that the series is doing that, where it is connecting things and it's making the connections that like it should. We also have
though I'm sorry, part of me wants to have this Halloran though, have them like in a bar doing a thing with his soldier buddies, and he starts scatting on stage to give homage to the fact that he was played by Scat. No, because he was played by Scatman Crothers in the Kubrick version, who was known for scatting.
Okay,
see?
yeah, okay.
See? There's a lie in there. See.
All right. So backing up, going to episode 1. I would also just like to say I agree with the point that I've seen so many people who have talked shit on this series of that it's bad. I agree with the point that no, the series is not bad. You just only want Pennywise the clown. That's all you wanted. Yeah. You don't care about the actual origin. You don't actually care about learning about the creature. This is a very good series because it is doing what, like, if you're an actual fan of this stuff, it's giving you what you wanted, which is an actual origin and a bit more explanation about things and building things out a bit. And it's having a lot of fun with it, which is great. Episode 1, I mean, that blew my expectations of what I thought the series was going to be. We get introduced to a whole bunch of kids. Turns out they're not the main characters, and I was taken very aback by that.
Yep. And I actually saw them. They explained that they want to show that nobody is safe. Okay.
But, like, I guess I should have seen it coming because I'm like, well, this is before the like main trio of kids dealt with him, so like can't imagine these kids are gonna like kill him or anything. However, what I didn't expect, folks.
Well, hang on. I think you're. But remember, the first time that it wasn't a trio, by the way. There were like 5 of them. But the first time that in the book that we see that he still came back again 37 years later, whatever it was, just like his normal cycle. That's his cycle for what. Hopefully, they explain that why it's such an odd number for the cycle that he returns. It's like it's feeding time. Okay, well,
Um,
I guess he's like the cicadas, the bugs that bury themselves
yeah,
for
yeah,
like
I
10
guess
years.
so, yeah. But because the show, like first of all, opens up with the opening kill of this whole thing. Also, like hooked me in immediately because it's the kid in a car ride. You get it's he doesn't realize it, but it is already in the car. Like it has already captured this kid pretending to be a family. Get like woman gives birth to demonic. I don't even know, demonic Siamese baby thing that like just rips him apart.
Yeah.
And that was immediately for me like, okay, I'm into this series. Like that was super fucked up. All right, let's see what else they're doing here.
Yeah. And basically the old nobody leaves Derry thing, which is another. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, we get introduced to a bunch of other kids. And my first thought on this was like, oh, okay, that'll be our like outcast group, whatever. Like, okay, all right, we're gonna follow these kids. All right, and they're kind of following the theme of like the kids from like the main movies. So like, okay, cool. Like, all right, yeah, we can get behind it. Fuck no, because in the ending of the first episode is almost everyone getting slaughtered very brutally. This show doesn't hold anything back, and it's so good.
I guarantee you, we just did a show with Eli Roth stuff. Eli Roth's probably watching this going, yeah, that's how you do a kill.
He has to be. This is his wet dream. Good God. Do you have any like favorite characters for this so far?
Well, the ones that are still alive. Yeah,
it's fun to say people. Anybody who hasn't died yet.
I mean, a lot of these guys aren't going to last longer. No, but I gotta say, I do. I like the way they're doing Halloran. I really do.
I do too.
And I will say, we know from his story that he survives all of this. He does get out of Derry. He ends up in the Overlook in Colorado. Yeah.
I'm very curious how, especially showing again, going back to like, especially showing that it now knows that like he has like a back door to be like attacked. I'm very curious how he manages to get away from it now.
No, but remember, I don't remember from the book and the movie. Once he goes back into hiding or hibernation, whatever it is, that the kids that left Derry, they forgot about him. They forgot about that whole sequence of that summer. And it was
that. Have they given an explanation to how he's able to do that yet? Because they keep mentioning it with people forget once they leave Derry, but like I don't think they've gotten into how exactly he does
how that works. Yeah. And even what's his name? The one I can't remember the name of the character that stayed that whole time. Even he didn't always remember, except when the time started to get closer. Right. He started to remember again. So, yeah. I'd have to I now I do want to reread the book too. I gotta say, but it's a long book. It's
there's also General Shaw and who apparently knows about it in a way that no one else does, and that I'm also very curious.
I think he knows because it's it was a UFO basically. Because remember. Back when this part of the story takes place, it's the UFOs. This part takes place in the 50s, right?
This part, but how would he?
Military always know about this shit,
But it happened during like pilgrimage that he crashed down onto Earth.
Maybe ongoing stories or something about that
See,
part of the
this
country, kind of like the
this
Bermuda Triangle thing,
this is why I need to know a bit more about Shaw, because like I've had that thought of like, yeah, okay, like alien thing, but he specifically knows that he's not
Right.
telling them, but like it is alluded to that he knows it is the thing he's looking for, and that he's
Well,
specifically
yeah.
looking for the fallen star. And like I'm very curious how he
Well,
knows about all the things that he does and he's not being attacked. That's where I'm a little curious, because he
well,
seems to
well,
know
because,
everything.
but he's not in Derry, is he? He's not in Derry though, right?
He's on the
Or is
military
he?
base.
Is that actually in town or is it outside of town? See, that's what.
Maybe it's just outside. I feel like that's like on the edge of the woods.
Yeah, which could be, or
So
and remember the whole
maybe that's
idea
why
here
he's not
was
affected. But
the whole idea here is the natives warned the people, don't go into the
yes,
woods and don't encroach into the woods, and they did that. They built the town of Derry. They encroached into the woods.
literally built it on top of where they trapped this thing. So,
yeah.
um,
All
but
because there's a
like,
mine. Remember, there's a mine there. That mine will come into play later too. That
yes, it will. Uh, but like Shaw's the one character in this whole thing where I'm very fucking curious what is going on with him, because it really is that. Because like if he's outside of Derry, why doesn't he forget things?
Right.
Because he also mentioned, it was like last episode he mentioned, when they're like, what is it you're looking for, whatever, like he mentions our time window's running short, it's gonna be going away again. So
Right.
again, how the does he know all these little details? Because they're
Well,
not telling you shit. So
no,
like, he
but
just knows.
but the cycle started before this. Remember, if you remember the movies, even by flipping through the old books,
yes,
they know
there
that
are
the
a lot of
cycle,
cycles.
and that's
So
why
I
that
need
remember
to know more.
they're planning this for three more. They're planning this for a total of 3 seasons, and
Really?
I guess each season is supposed to cover one of the different cycles. So
See, I didn't know they were doing 3 seasons, so that I'm a little curious
yeah.
about that now. But no, but yeah, no. Shaw is 100% the one character where I need to know more about this
Right.
guy. I really want to know how he knows the shit he does, and like how he doesn't forget shit. But no, it's been fun. I'm curious what they're gonna, because there's 4 more episodes, so I'm a little curious where this is gonna lead to, essentially, like, because they're just now getting into that it has a entity, and I've already seen a spoiler, not necessarily a spoiler, but it was just confirming that episode 5 is where Skarsgård is going to make his appearance. So now I'm like real curious where this is going to be taking us for a finale in these last 4, considering that he's already murdered a whole bunch of kids already. The military's getting real close, and like now I guess they technically have the location they're looking for. So yeah, I'm more curious of where this is going to lead to, and if they're doing 3, then especially like, is Shaw like, is this going to be like an ongoing villain? Like, is he coming back here every time the cycle comes up? Like,
well, if it takes place in the 50s, the next time he shows up is in the story that we know from the book.
oh wait, actually, now that I think about it, he grew up in the town. Now that I think about it,
Right.
that was
Yeah.
something in like episode 1 that he even mentioned that he had forgotten about Derry until he got sent here for the base.
Right.
But that's god damn it, I still need to know more about him.
So he would have been there for the previous cycle.
He was there for the previous cycle. See, this is why I said I need to know a little bit more about Shaw. Like, I need the details of, like, I could get if he had an experience with it, and maybe that like stuck with
But
him.
by
or
the way,
something.
in case you didn't catch it, Halloran is the grandfather of one of the children in the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's also the one of the kids who died in the first episode. He's like the cousin to one of the main characters in
Right.
the main story.
And
Which is
being a
weird that
small
he's
town,
dead,
and being
knowing
well,
that he
being
is.
and being a small town like that, that makes sense that generationally it would follow through. That there would be some familial ties throughout the whole thing.
Yes. No, but yeah, no, I'm just kind of curious where exactly you're going to take this. It seems like these kids are going to have to deal with it somehow. I also feel bad for Lily in this entire series. I feel so bad for that girl because she can't catch a fucking break. She just keeps getting thrown under the bus. Like episode 4, again, spoilers here, but episode 4, I cheered at my screen when Pennywise decided, I'm gonna give Marge fucking snail eyes. I was like, yes! She's such a bully of a person. Like, thank God. Until we got to the ending of that episode and it just fucked Lily over again. And I was like, come on, man. Like, this poor girl. She can't catch a break. But no, so I'm a bit curious, like, especially how many of them are going to survive? I guess is my biggest question. Like, I know from what I've seen, Will would survive, but I don't know about everybody else. I feel like everyone else is a bit of cannon fodder at this point. As much as I like the other characters, everyone else is kind of up for taking. There's like 2 or 3 people will survive because they come back in some way, shape, or form, but most everyone else does not. So,
okay, so while you're talking, I'm looking at the Pennywise's thing here. Currently, according to the book, he actually crashed millions of years ago.
See, yeah, I was about to say,
and he remained dormant. And he remained dormant until humans started coming into the area that would become Derry.
Yes.
And
that much I remembered.
And in about 27 years, every 27 years he reappears, and they do refer to it as hibernation.
Man, it's almost like Jeepers Creepers got its premise from something.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. No, but the show's very fun. If you're a fan of horror or you just enjoy it, I would 100% recommend this. Like, this is a lot of fun playing with things that you don't necessarily know. If you've never read any of the books, then you definitely wouldn't know anything. And this is having a lot of fun with that stuff.
And if you have, realize that they've shifted the years around a little bit just to make sense with what they have. It's still a 27-year cycle, but the years in which they take place has been shifted by about a decade or so. So
they also have Shawshank that they've mentioned because the one dad's being blamed for the murder of the kids, and they're saying they're sending him to Shawshank. So there's another King reference in there for you. Not sure if that'll play into anything. I feel like it will because I think he's going to get sent there kind of regardless. So I think that'll probably be something that comes up when we get to that. But he's another one I feel kind of bad for because it's like, man, you literally did nothing. You literally did nothing wrong. And you're going to go to Shawshank for murder. You poor bastard. So now here's a question: are the cops under its influence, like we've seen in the town before, where he can influence people to do things? Do you think the cops are under his influence, and that's why they're not necessarily looking into other evidence, and they're just like, "Yep, no, he's to blame. He's to blame."
Maybe, or they're just lousy cops and they've got an easy thing because it's easy to blame what's in front of you than to try to blame a killer clown. It's like,
Very true. But I question that with just some of the way the police chief acts. I've started to wonder, like, is he under its influence with covering up
I
the
I think it's
crimes?
just I think it's just a matter of they know this kind of shit happens about every 27 years. So
See,
instead of putting a lot of energy into it,
God,
yeah.
I feel like some of these adults are like, when he's active, I feel like he's influencing, and I only say that
I
because
but
of
I
the
don't
intro.
but its history doesn't show that he can actually influence people over a steady period of time.
I don't know. I don't know. I think the intro is alluding to that it has influenced things
Mm,
periodic, because there are some things that you see in the opening, which, by the way, the opening song to this, I love it. I love it. It's so sweet and innocent to just the most graphic
no,
shit.
no, no, it's not. If you actually listen to the words, holy shit.
Yeah, it's sweet and innocent. What are you talking about? Uh, but no, because there's a bit in the intro where they show like a bunch of gangsters killing each other with Tommy guns, and they show Pennywise up on a building with a Tommy gun of his own, almost like he's influencing that they were gonna like open fire on the town.
I but we've never seen anything like that in the book or the other movies where that he can actually influence outside of in
I
that
think
sense
I
to
think
where
I think he has
no
just a
no
little bit.
no
Yeah.
not to the extent you're talking about where he can actually steadily influence the whole law enforcement agency to blow stuff off. No, I think they just do that because they know that this happens every few years, and it's not that they're influenced by it. It's just like, well, we're not going to find anything anyway, so what the fuck, you know?
I don't know. I
They're
think you
they're
could. I think you
they're
could
almost
count it as like an
no,
influence for like when he's
nah.
shown up and everyone ignores that he's even there.
Well, no, that's because no, they've already that he can't be seen by non-children except in special cases. You know, every time something happens, they just assume that it's Stephen King has always been about putting ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. And that's what this is. This is an extraordinary circumstance. How would you respond to something that can't be explained ordinarily? You wouldn't. I mean, we see it all the time. People try to explain stuff in ways they understand. They're not going to go looking for the oh, it must be aliens.
Yeah.
People are going to think you're crazy. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the like I get Penny like I get that he can manipulate reality and like do stuff. I don't know. I guess it's just always been weird to me that he could do that, but that I see like for instance when I watch the remake of Hellraiser.
But it's always on us. But it's always even if it's to the whole group of kids like it was in then, but it's always for a short period of time. And once they realize that it's a hallucination, they can break it off most of the time. You're not real. You're not real. You know,
Uh, I don't know. Well, like, because the remake of Hellraiser, like, which I enjoy that one, but that's another one where like they can manipulate reality, but even when they're doing it, like anyone in the immediate vicinity is like, what the fuck is that? Because like they're shaping reality, but they're doing it in a way that it's like anyone who's there right now, you can see they're kind of doing this thing. Uh,
okay, so
to a
here's what
degree.
it
So like I
here's what
almost
it's
wonder if
yeah.
Pennywise is does
Well,
have an
here's what
influence of like
here
ignore
here
the people doing this right now.
here's what it says from the book. It can control weak-minded people, either
See,
making them
yeah,
ignore the
exactly.
either making them ignore the horrors around them, or turning them into accomplices, like they did with the one kid who with the
Yeah, the
knife,
bully. Yeah.
or when introducing itself to humans, it uses the name Bob Gray.
See,
When it takes on
I'm fucking calling it now. You tell me I'm wrong, but I'm calling it now. They're gonna have something in these four where the fucking police chief's gonna talk to someone like that, and it's gonna be a whole fucking thing of like that's why he's whatever with this whole murder of children, is that there's secretly that going on behind the scenes. Because the police chief isn't strong-minded enough to fend him off.
But again, that would have to be an ongoing control, and we don't see that. All of this is
I guess so.
Not temporary, but it's short term. It's not, he's not going to control it for the whole time that he's active. I don't think. It doesn't seem like it works that way. Now they've been changing stuff in this show, but
I don't know. It depends on how strong he is. I guess that's just. I guess that's just the thing. There is they've never really.
Well, and they did say
how strong
they did say in the opening that with this last episode that the more he fed, the stronger he got. That's why he was able to, his area of attack got bigger and bigger until they put the stones down and said, "Yeah, now you're trapped."
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I guess we'll see where the next 4 go. It's been a fun ride regardless. Like, it's, again, they're having a lot of fun with the origin. They're having a lot of fun with just how his things work, how his powers work, what he can do. I'm enjoying it. I really hope that it keeps the trajectory that it has and it continues being this good. I hope it doesn't drop the ball. And I only say that because a lot of shows start off good and then they drop the ball at the very end. And I hope this one does not do that. So far it has not. And I hope they keep up that. I really, really, really do. But yeah, so that's Welcome to Derry. I guarantee we'll end up doing another episode when it fully ends.
Well, we better because we should. Yeah.
Our final thoughts with the season. But halfway through, it's fucking fantastic. And if you're not watching it, what the hell's wrong with it? What are you doing with your life? Go watch it.
Yeah.
Good God.
That's right.
But until then, follow him at CerebralPaul1 on the Twitters, on the X, or you want to call it. I just call it Twitter. Whatever. Or at CerebralPaul everywhere else. And then follow us at OddcastN or email us oddcastmedia@gmail.com. If you have movie recommendations or anything you want to hear us talk about, go ahead and send it over to that email and I'll read it and maybe we'll do it. I don't know. I'll draw names out of a hat.
Yeah, anyway, and the worse it is, the more likely he's going to make me watch it. So, yeah.
Oh, if it is something special. Oh.